So we're here to talk about housing. We're here really to talk about reframing the narrative on housing.
We at the National Public Housing Museum and our developing Center for the Study of Housing and Society know that we are more than the objects we collect. We are built on an assemblage of oral histories that mine the rich and vast, complex historical developments of public and publicly subsidized housing in America.
It really is a moment that we have gathered in this country, isn't it? When you think about the place we are in this country today, if you care about social justice in this country today, you have to care about public housing and the people who live in public housing.
The main idea is how do we work on the systems that really underlie kind of the way cities function to make cities really places of opportunity for everyone. And I think
the museum promotes and fosters deep cultural understanding via oral histories, artifacts, photography, archival documents, and other material objects spanning over 7 decades.
Unfortunately, in our country, the idea of the public has been degraded. The idea of the commons has been degraded. The idea that we all have a collective future that is interdependent has been challenged. And so I think this conversation is timely because it is important that people like you and institutions like the one I lead respond. And we have to respond boldly and we have to respond courageously.
And I think it's really not a gigantic leap to take to think about how important where you live is in your future opportunities and what the future of your children, your family, and in particular, how it is that you can access all the manifold opportunities that are provided for urban life. And so we think that really kind of getting the housing issue right is really the first step in finding ways to make cities work for everyone.
With the inequality gap widening with the Great Recession and the recent fright of the government shutdown, millions of Americans are struggling to keep a roof over their head and yet appreciate and support for the many benefits that public housing has while it is yet being challenged and in some places diminished. In this time of economic change for all Americans, how do we reinvigorate the ideal of safe, affordable housing for all? How can we build smarter, more effective public housing? What role can public-private partnerships play in unlocking new capital and spurring innovation? That is why we are here this afternoon.
This is the little engine that could. This is one of those innovative, out-of-the-box things that people say when it first appears as an idea. Where did that come from? And who do you think is going to give money to that? And how are you going to sustain that? And do those people really deserve a museum? And so I think what Keith has done has been to demand that we hold up that mirror to ourselves and our society and ask whether or not this idea of this museum dedicated to public housing is worthy of our support, is worthy of our validation. And I think the answer is a resounding yes, it is.